Hey guys, it's Sons of Liberty, the best podcast out there. We saw a lot of those positive comments you gave us on the Kid Rock video, that reaction video we made. We're really motivated to do more,
I know, we get asked all the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
first video.
We have to stay safe, right?
Yeah, exactly. Stay safe from fucking you incels. Alright, let's get back to the episode and let's get right into it.
Did you just call our perfect audience incels?
Yes.
I will have you know that available women in the 21st century, it is a very tough market. And if they don't have a girlfriend right now, or boyfriend, whatever, frankly, that is not their fault, and the label of incel is very derogatory, and may I add, imperialist.
But like who?
Fair counter-argument.
Fucking asked. Anyways, let's go to
Alright, let's do the Joe Biden. Yeah.
Our bi-weekly Joe Biden slam.
We're
KYKA,
back
take
to
it
it.
away.
Alright, boys. So, remember that Hunter
Wait,
Biden...
what if there's girls here?
Boys,
Whoa,
girls,
whoa.
and gender non-conforming.
Sorry. Let me look at our YouTube statistic. Oh, 100% male. Wow, that's a surprise.
You never know.
What a surprise. You know what?
You gotta be inclusive.
Boys and one girl that potentially may watch this video in 30 years.
Well, you know what? Gender is a social construct, and even if YouTube says that they're men, that doesn't mean that they want to be.
I mean, Chao he's stating a fact. Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson cannot define what a woman is, and so can we, right? We cannot define women because we're not biologists. It makes sense, right, boys?
You guys sound like Joe Biden right now. Anyways, can we please get on the topic?
Speaking of Joe Biden did an oopsie.
Speaking of Joe Biden, our transitions are better than Keemstar's. Alright, anyways, Biden did a big oopsie, boys. It's not really that he did an oopsie, but it was like indirect oopsie.
Yeah.
So what basically happened is the laptop story, okay? Everyone knew about the story and how it was legitimate a year ago. It just started, or almost 2 years ago now, it just started catching some steam because Joe Biden's approval ratings are in the tank and Democrats need a reason to get rid of him.
Wait a
That's
minute.
the reality of the situation.
Yeah, no, that was 2 years ago. I don't know if we did a SoL episode on it. Maybe we did, but if we did, or if we didn't, our lovely non-incel at all viewers need context.
Chao, we talked about it during the last podcast episode.
But their incel brains don't understand. So let's
so bad. But then
anyways,
that would have legal ramifications.
How about this? Let's give a small summary for those new viewers that may have not watched the previous episode.
You know what,
and if they want to go more in depth, or if
you
they
guys
want to go more in depth, they can go to the
laptop story. There's going to be a card up there.
There's going to be a card. If you want to learn more, you watch the other video first. You have to eat your vegetables before you get to the dessert.
Okay, let me fucking talk about this shit, alright?
Alright, for once.
Okay, so it was revealed, not recently, but of course 2 years ago, just came into the news now, because more eyeballs are on the story, that Hunter Biden received $4.8 million from a Chinese conglomerate company that has some shady business tactics in the region and in the US. And so, Democrats are saying, oh, Joe Biden, like, he's so tough on China. You know, he would never compromise his morals and ethics to get what he wants.
The absolute fucking irony of that statement, by the way, but whatever. Yeah,
he's totally uncorruptible. Oh, let's look at these text messages between Hunter Biden and his daughter. It says right over here, I love all of you, but I don't receive any respect, and that's fine, I guess. Works for you, apparently. I hope you all can do what I did and pay for everything for this entire family for 30 years. It's really hard. But don't worry, unlike Pop, in quotation marks Joe Biden, I won't make you give me half of your salary. So when Hunter Biden was doing the shady business dealings in China, his father was receiving half of his salary, so that's totally not corrupt or a conflict of interest, right, guys?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Which,
we should definitely look at this.
If anyone were to bring up the thing about, Hunter Biden's laptop, conspiracy theorist,
frogs are gay,
dangerous alt-right conspirator, they're schizophrenic, lock him up in the mental ward. 2 years
Wuhan
later,
virus.
Oh my god, literally proven true. It's the fucking lab leak theory all over again.
It is. It actually is. That's the funny part.
But hey, at least this one didn't cause a worldwide fucking pandemic, right?
Yeah.
But
Honestly,
anyways.
Democrats are investigating January 6th and how our political leaders tie into that. Why are we not investigating how Joe Biden ties into Hunter Biden's shady business dealings?
But
That seems like a more
wait,
pressing
but
issue.
We are. That's
No,
what
we're
this
not.
is. That's what this
No,
is.
we're not.
Sons
No.
of Liberty.
Well,
and hey,
I mean in Congress,
hey,
okay?
okay. Well, first of all,
No.
Congress is mid, and secondly, the Twitter account that posted this was, I literally called RNC research. So it's not like nobody is researching this, right? It's
Yeah.
not like nobody is stepping up and investigating the Democrats' shady past. It's just not the mainstream media. Because
Well,
of course they're
actually-
not. That's friendly fire.
Actually, Chao, this is a good segue into this. So ABC News, which is definitely not on the left, it has people like George Stephanopoulos, who was a Clinton correspondent in Bill Clinton's presidency, so he's obviously on the left.
Yeah.
He started asking questions to the Biden administration. Does Joe Biden seriously think, or his question was presented as, how can we trust that Joe Biden is not ethically corrupt in this situation, since Hunter Biden is doing shady business deals
Yeah.
in China and Ukraine?
And, you know, like
And-
father, like son.
Right. And, we got some text revealing that Hunter Biden wants he gives half of his salary to Joe Biden, so it seems like a conflict of interest, right?
Right.
The Biden administration official responded with, don't worry, he's Joe Biden. So that's great. Really reassuring.
He is the perfect Democratic candidate. He can do no wrong.
Except when it
It's
comes to
great.
the economy and everything else he breathes the airspace of.
The Washington Post also reported this week on deals that Hunter Biden had with a Chinese energy company, paid $4.8 million to entities controlled by Hunter and the president's brother. Is the president confident his family didn't cross any ethical lines?
George, the president is confident that his family did the right thing. But again, I want to just be really clear. These are actions by Hunter and his brother. They're private matters. They don't involve the president. And they certainly are something that no one at the White House is involved in.
You know, I was watching a video, right? And, I mentioned this guy earlier. If you know, you know. But basically, he was talking about, like, political ideologies, right? Which, of course, I'm very interested in. It's one of the main things that I've, been looking into for the past couple of years. And what I've noticed is when you have a particular ideology, especially a collectivist one, like most modern-day progressive and leftist ideologies, even the arguably more tame ones, like the one of the Democratic Party, right? The Democratic Party is not literally Antifa, guys. But, they certainly hold water for them when it's convenient. Just like how, fucking, like, Vosh will call, someone who's, like, center-right, or, like, anything, like, right of center, or, like, right of left, like, Nazi-adjacent, or, like, covering for, like, fascists or whatever. You get the point. But when you have a collectivist ideology, and you engrave it into your own identity to the point where it becomes a part of you, and this goes for individualist ideologies too, but less so, I'd say, because it's less all-encompassing. There's still, like, a private life. It becomes the lens around your eye for which you see everything through. And this is actually, funny enough, kind of a leftist talking point. That, well, not necessarily, like, broad left. I'm talking about, like, someone like Destiny, right? And so you have these lenses that you essentially filter the world through, right? So, if something that that you haven't really thought of yet is presented to you, you filter it through the lens first, and then an ideological talking point comes out on the other end. I'm kind of mostly ripping this from the video, but my main point is, it's not really surprising that basically for the past, like, 10 years or more, right, whenever you would talk to a leftist, this is, like, what the NPC meme tries to, like, describe, you just have these, like, they almost seem pre-scripted, automated responses, like you could hear from the news at any time. Of course Joe Biden is perfect and can do no wrong. Of course Hunter Biden is perfect and can do no wrong. Of course, the two of them aren't, coinciding in a conflict of interests. Because they're Joe and Hunter Biden. And the Biden family is perfect. Because, blah, 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 theory. We've gone over it in previous episodes. But that's kind of the idea. When you have a worldview that is that, totalizing, there is no room for dissonance. There is no room for exceptions. Like this. And I've mentioned something similar previously. Again, I'm kind of retreading an old path, to be completely honest. But still, I feel like it's relevant. This is why. This is why the mainstream media would never be honest about something like this until they were absolutely forced to, lest they look completely fraudulent, other than just kind of fraudulent, like they already do. But
yeah.
Yeah. Check the box. King Chao rant done for the day.
Okay, so I don't know how to transition to this, but I'm going to say this. Americans are simply not buying Joe Biden's response to the gas crisis we have over here.
I mean, yeah, they can see it,
Right. So
what
Joe
is
Biden
it,
is
$7 now?
Well, I went to Costco yesterday.
I have no idea about gas.
And the gas there at Costco is like $5.59, so it's high, yeah.
Oh, well, it's not $7.
Man, other places like fucking $6.30.
Yeah, Costco is a special case because it's Costco. But if you go to a regular
Costco's
gas
great.
pump in LA, at least, yeah, Costco's great. But if you go to a regular pump, super high, over $6 for sure.
Yeah.
But anyways, so Biden's blaming the gas crisis in America in terms of price on the Russia-Ukraine crisis because Russia is a big exporter of oil. But the problem is, I think less than 5% of our oil actually comes from Russia. So Americans are catching on that this is probably not a Russia-Ukraine issue. Yeah. This is definitely a Joe Biden not handling inflation issue.
Well, okay, it is possible that the issue is multifaceted, and likely. But
it is.
To blame the entire situation on the Russia-Ukraine conflict when gas prices were going up before then, right, and inflation was going up before then, is
foolish.
Well, it's dishonest for starters, but I mean, again, back to that, whole lens thing. There's got to be a reason that isn't the failing of the Democrats, because that is the only way that it can work within their worldview.
Also, Joe Biden has taken a very green agenda in terms of energy independence.
Of course.
So what he's investing into a lot of green alternatives, excluding nuclear power, of course, because, those are bad for whatever reason.
Okay, actually, King Chao rant number 2. I have to.
Okay.
I don't know if we've talked about nuclear on this podcast. Maybe we have.
Yes,
I have fucking stage a million dementia Joe Biden style. But seriously, all right? When did the environmentalists and the Green New Deal people, I get it's for political expediency, and I get it's for more authoritarian control, but assuming there is no malice, which there almost definitely is, and that it is just pure incompetence, why the fuck would the environmentalists be against nuclear power? It is essentially the cleanest form of sustainable, reliable power that humanity has ever created.
I'll give you an answer, by the way. It's actually very simple. It's just the leftists being scared about it. That's all it is. Okay, literally.
Look, leftists not liking nukes. Guess what? I don't like nukes either. Personally, I think it makes sense to have them if other countries have them, because, we don't want to get fucking bombed and have nothing to defend ourselves with. That's a fair point. But I don't like the idea of having a bunch of nukes stockpiled. I don't like the idea that a couple of crazy bozos and, governments across the world could just press a funny red button and then humanity goes extinct. Obviously, right? I think, this entire situation now, but also, for the past, 60 years, I think, or a little longer than that, actually, but that general idea, Cold War, right? we've been living under the nuclear threat. And remember, before now, it was North Korea, which, let's be real, was never really that big of a threat, but still. Generally, don't love nukes. That's bombs, though. That's bombs. Power is a totally different story. There's this idea that having nuclear power plants and having nuclear bombs, since they are essentially the same technology, having them in the same country inevitably means that if they have one, they will have the other, and that, you know, having one is a gateway to having the other. Usually plant to bomb, not bomb to plant, but you get what I'm saying, right? Obviously, a country that didn't have nukes getting nukes is a really big deal, and I understand that, but that's only for uranium. And I'll just say something. Uranium fucking sucks. It's horrible. I learned this from a Salmonella video, actually. God bless his soul. Fucking thorium reactors, bro. They're so much better in every way. And guess what? They suck at making bombs. But you know what they're really good at making? A lot of power. Now, granted, it's not just thorium. There's a little bit of plutonium in there, too, right? But that's the good part. In order to make thorium bombs, you require 2 different elements and a much more complex set of chambers in order for the reaction to happen. And it's built for sustainability, not one big burst. That's what the uranium is for. Uranium is for bombs. Thorium is for plants. Really, if we're being completely honest. Can you run a thorium bomb? Yes. Can you run a uranium reactor, plant? Yes. Plenty of countries do it. But thorium reactors, I genuinely do think, is the future. Because it, at the very least, partially mitigates the bomb problem. And it's way more nice to the environment than fossil fuels are. Or, I guess natural gas is also under fossil fuels, but you get the point, right? And oil, the such. The stuff that pollutes the atmosphere. But it's also way more effective than solar and wind ever could be. It's also a lot more cost effective, which, as an economy that is at least partially, if not mostly, dependent on fossil fuels, is a necessity for, at the very least, a transitional piece. Why would you not use nuclear energy? It's like the answer, It's not a perfect answer. Nothing is. There's always going to be problems and caveats. And yes, and of course this is something that thorium also really helps, but let's say you had a uranium reactor because, I don't know, maybe you just have like a concave brain or whatever, right? Or uranium was the only element around. Yes, if it goes meltdown, it goes fucking Chernobyl, and that's serious, and that's a big deal. Thorium reactors. Guess what thorium reactors do? If it starts to melt down, you just drain the thorium into a secondary tank at the bottom, and then the reaction stops, and then no nuke. With uranium, if it starts going crazy, unless you can cool it down, you're fucked. That's the difference. You want Chernobyl? Get uranium. You want, a clean atmosphere, a healthy planet, and a healthy world for humans to live on, with enough power to live comfortably in that world? Thorium. Seriously. Solar and wind is just not going to cut it. It can help, and I think it's worth investing into voluntarily on an individual front, but this whole top-down management and the complete exclusion of a much more efficient and viable option, it just seems disingenuous. I don't know, what do you guys think?
Well, I've been saying this for a long time. Nuclear is probably the best way to move forward in terms of a sustainable environment and where we don't need to depend on gas and oil products. But feelings, so.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if it's necessarily just like feelings. I get that there's a little bit of emotion involved because there is a lot of drama and trauma with, the nuclear bombs and the plants. I understand that, right? And that's not entirely worthless either. Calling it just hurt feelings is just a little bit vapid. But it's really more like, I do think that the reason why the Democrats have abandoned nuclear is because it's... nuclear is too good of a solution, essentially. Solar and wind are just oppressive enough and a lot nicer on the mind because, you know, it's powered by the sun or it's powered by the air. You know, very nice things. When, ironically enough, if you really think about it, solar power is nuclear power. It's just not being generated on planet. Because you know what the sun is?
Tell us.
A giant ball of nuclear fusion. It powers the sun, it can power us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't even know what I was talking about here, but yeah.
King Chao rant 2 over.
Okay, should we talk about the next topic, boys?
I mean,
Yes,
is there anything else?
please, yes.
Is there
Please,
Wait,
yes.
hold on. Is there anything else to say about gas at all?
Oh,
Biden?
Joe Biden, so basically, gas companies want permits to mine on the lands in America.
Mm-hmm.
He's giving the permits, but the permits can only be used in 3 years.
Oh, great.
So
I shoot myself.
he's not actually alleviating the gas crisis.
Good
Mm.
job.
Yeah, so that's a lie. He's
Yeah, crippling our country even more. You know, first a gas price surge, upward, and then a food shortage, and now you're even trying to put us more deeper in the hole of gas prices.
I don't know, man. Trump had a lot of problems, but I don't think he'd do us like that.
No, he had no
Definitely
issues. What do you
not.
mean? No issues, man. He's perfection. Perfection.
I love Trump. I love Trump.
I mean, hey,
Gurgle, gurgle.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, the
Yes, he would be the expert.
best ending is if Joe Biden and Donald Trump kissed on live television.
you would like
What?
that one show.
That's the
You would
good
like
end.
that one show.
Yes, yes,
Chao would
You
get
like
off.
that.
yes,
He's-
yes, 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 yes,
You would get off?
yes, 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 yes.
Okay,
All right,
let's move on to the next topic.
Musk bought a majority stake in Twitter. KYKA, take it away.
So today, April 4th, Elon Musk bought a majority stake of Twitter, around 9.2%.
Maybe he can actually make it a free speech platform.
Yes, and that's worth an estimated $3 billion, which is about 1% of his net worth. So he actually committed a lot, if you think about it. It's a lot of money. Also, ironically enough, the stock price of Twitter jumped 27% about during closing hour today. So
Nice.
he's done a lot of good.
Yeah.
Hopefully, free speech will be revived
Wait.
on Twitter.
How is Twitter stock rising a good thing?
A lot of people
It's-
hold Twitter stock.
But it's Twitter.
Yeah, but doesn't mean a lot of people hold it though.
It's Twitter.
Yeah.
It's Twitter.
So
So, I mean, it could change. Hopefully through Elon Musk instead of this shitty CEO.
Maybe.
That's
Yeah, I mean-
currently...
if the stock rose 27% over Elon Musk wanting to implement free speech initiatives in Twitter, that's probably a good sign. So
Bro,
I'm happy.
imagine if, like, living on Twitter, like, imagine if a bunch of people from 4chan came to Twitter and, like, started using Twitter, like, actively. Oh, that'd be fun. Because then it would just be, like, even more
What do you mean?
political
They're
fun.
already here. They're already there, Vincent.
No, they're not.
Yeah, the furries are already on fucking
Chao,
Twitter.
porn is posted on Twitter. Furries are on Twitter. Everything imaginable's on. 4chaners are on Twitter.
No, but, like, more. Look,
Why do you want
I'm
more of
serious.
them?
Okay,
I want less of them.
No, shut the fuck up, alright? Hear me out, alright? Twitter users are just Tumblr users, but a little bit older and a little bit more bitter.
Wouldn't
4chan
Tumblr users be like older instead of Twitter users?
No, but okay. Tumblr basically lost all of its people. Ghost Gum made a great video about the Tumblr exodus. We'll link it in the cards or in the description if we remember. And basically, okay, so basically, there were a bunch of people who used Tumblr Most of them were left-leaning because Tumblr was a site for
Boring.
Bro.
Continue.
Okay.
Boring.
Okay.
Boring. I
Whatever.
love the history
Okay.
of Tumblr.
Okay. TLDR.
Boring.
Yawn.
Everybody left
Yawn.
Tumblr. You know what? You do the topic. You do the topic. Sunny, you do the topic. No, you know what?
We already talked about this.
We're going on mute. You do it.
What do you mean? Oh, okay. On this, all right, guys. So, as we just heard, Elon Musk bought this stock. Okay, 9.2%. We saw this earlier today. No, it's not April Fool's because it's April 4th. Whoa. Now this stock is worth about $3 billion. And hopefully we see a change in Twitter. Because me personally, as I said in previous podcasts, I didn't like CEO, especially when the previous CEO stepped down and retired, whatever happened. I didn't like it because the CEO of Twitter right now really censors a lot of stuff. He's really big on censorship, which is why Musk really hated Twitter, which is why he deleted all his Twitter accounts like Tesla, the other companies he owns, their Twitter accounts, and he kept his own. Now the stock of Twitter probably rose because, he's a big figure. He even made such other things like Dogecoin rise in the stock market and make those values go higher. Now I see this as a very positive move for Twitter, and I think it's amazing. What's your guys' thoughts? Damn. Amazing thoughts, guys. Being, our anarchist, Chao here, server muted, both of them. I know you guys can see it on screen. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. All right, now I'm gonna talk about the juicy topics while they're gone because I didn't. Will Smith, guys. Now something big happened last year's recently.
Sunny, Tesla's still on Twitter and Dogecoin is not in the stock market.
I'm being muted.
What are you gonna say about that?
No, but I was saying it rose in value.
Not in the stock market.
Well, I said the stock market, like how it.
I don't know about
Which is why he deleted all his Twitter accounts like Tesla. He even made such other things like Dogecoin rise in the stock market. And
the stock market?
Well, how this.
Also, Tesla's definitely on Twitter.
Okay, you know what?
Okay, think about it, right?
No, but now
buy Bitcoin and Dogecoin in stock marketplaces like Robinhood or other.
Robinhood is not the stock market. Robinhood is.
But you can buy stocks through. But you can still buy it through it. So
that's not the stock market, Sonny. No, it's not. Robinhood is merely an API which you could buy stocks from. It's not the stock market.
I mean, I view current
New York Stock Exchange
as the stock market because it's legit the value. Yes, it's okay.
No,
like this.
That's the blockchain. It's completely different. Completely different, separate things.
Well, they can be separate things, but you can view them as the same.
They're not the same. I don't know why you view them the same.
Because legit, if we didn't value the company or the company had no value, then it would be useless.
No, I'm valuing it. What are you talking about? All I'm saying is they're separate.
This guy's not listening to me.
I will play back the recording because I was listening very carefully. All right, so boys, there's this California representative. Her name is Maxine Waters, and she had an oopsie. She had a really big oopsie.
Are you sure it's a female?
It is a female.
Did you ask her that?
You know what? I'm no biologist, so maybe she's a male. But anyways, she was at this crowd, and this crowd was asking for money because they were homeless. And Maxine Waters, like the giga brain Chad she is, said to the homeless people, "Go home."
I want everybody to go home. And I want
We don't got no home. Okay. That's why we here. Miss Miss Waters, get home we gonna go to.
Yeah. Just a moment. Just a moment. Nothing is going to happen here today. Nothing is going to happen anymore today.
So what about
but
all these names?
What we're gonna that's what
Oh, you're homeless? Well, have you tried simply going home? Greg,
it's kind of funny, but they all have phones. Did you everyone's recording on their phones?
Yeah.
So.
I mean, to be fair, you could be homeless and still have a phone, right?
I mean, yeah, phones are a lot cheaper than houses.
Yeah.
Oh no, shit, Sherlock. I'm pretty sure 1,000 not equal like fucking what in California the cheapest house right now, like one bedroom's like $300,000,
I mean,
or even a
yeah, like
studio apartment's like.
an iPhone X is like $50 on eBay.
I don't know about that one, but
Oh,
No,
a working one,
real,
a
yeah,
working one.
real one. Yeah.
you could definitely buy a really cheap phone for cheap. So,
No, but like if you look at their phones, they look pretty recent phones. Well, I didn't know about the one person recording, but I saw iPhone 13s in there.
to be fair,
Then,
like probably not all of them are homeless, right?
Right.
So maybe some of them are standing in solidarity.
cringe.
I don't know. Either
I
way,
mean-
some of them are homeless, right? And Maxine
Yeah.
Waters, doesn't understand that says a lot about her and how old she
Yeah.
is and why she shouldn't be in Congress. So let's vote her out, boys. Well, we're not in her district, but
What
boys
district is she
and
part of?
girls. She's a California representative. I don't know what district she's in, but definitely not ours.
Pretty sure it's Oakland. Sounds like a shitty place.
She lives in a mansion, so that doesn't really help her case that much. She works hard, boys. She works hard.
No, apparently, she works harder than anyone in the in the government.
Yeah.
You know?
That makes a lot of sense. So
Yeah,
poggers
totally.
for her.
That's how there's so much homeless people here. Gosh dang, man. It's alright.
She's working so hard to keep the homeless people homeless.
Damn right she is. She hates them homeless people. Them
Especially the
dirty
kids.
people. Them dirty, street sleeping, bug-eating people. That's who she hates. Alright.
Yeah, there's not much to talk about that, but yeah.
I mean,
And in other news, there is a new judge that is being nominated to the Supreme Court as Justice Breyers. He has stepped down. That judge is named Judge Jackson, and she will most likely be confirmed because Mitt Romney and Lisa Murkowski said they would vote her in. And that's an issue because although she's not like super leftist, she's definitely very on the left. And her policies are very strange considering she can't define woman because she's not a biologist, whatever that means. And she has a very
What's a woman? Yeah.
what is a woman? But she also has a very bad record in terms of pedophiles. So this one doesn't really seem like the most well-rounded one that the Democrats could have chosen, but here we are. So that's amazing.
I mean, heck, at a point in time, like percentage of the LGBT were trying to make pedophiles a like sexuality, pedophilia part of their community. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not really surprised at this at all. But I don't think she should be like associated with anything in our government at all.
Yeah, this is I would definitely not vote her in. I think she's not
You know what?
the most
You know
pleasant.
what we should vote her in?
What?
Subway representative.
Oh, the Jared guy, whatever his name is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's maybe a little too far, but I get what you're saying.
No, we should have her be the new Subway representative. You know?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far, but I understand what you're saying.
No. I think you gotta keep it in the family or like same
The
representation.
family, yeah.
Yeah, anyways,
Let's
Chao, any
Huh? What?
anything?
Huh?
Any opinion on this?
What is the definition of woman?
Yes. Okay.
You're not a biologist, so you can't answer it.
I got this. Okay. The definition of woman is whether or not you can succeed on Twitch. If you can, you're a woman. If you're not, you're a guy. That's the definition.
I mean,
That's a more concrete definition than she gave, so props to you.
Fair enough.
yeah. There you go. You know what? Applause. For
I know what
my
a woman
co-host here.
is, even though I've never seen one. Let's go.
Damn.
all right
Hey.
then.
Women? Oh wait, no, those are birthing people, my bad.
Birthing people are mid, no cap.
No.
Yeah, I
Speaking
can't
of
define
women, let's go to our
Speaking of
next
birthing
topic.
people, let's go to our next topic.
Yeah, because everyone was birthed by a birthing person, so.
Birthing?
Yes.
Yeah, birthing.
Yes, somebody with with a front hole.
With ovaries.
Yes, that's what it's called.
Ovaries. Oh, you know, those are racist.
Those are racist.
Front hole. Front holes.
Front holes, yeah.
Can we go to someone bitch slapping another person?
Oh, yes! Yeah. The main topic of the night. The something we should have started with approximately 44 minutes and 30 seconds ago. Right, Will Smith! Will Smith! My God.
Keep that in.
You can tell the stage 69 dementia is kicking in, Chao. Just at that moment.
Chao for president. Come on, Chao for president.
Oh my God. At this rate, I might be elected to the Democratic Party.
Oh my God. You're gay? You check out that check mark.
Oh yeah, yep. LGBT representation. Yep.
You're not fatphobic. You check that out.
Oh no, I am extremely fatphobic.
Well, but you can't be, because...
Yeah,
you know.
Why?
Yeah, why can't he be? Why can't he be? Yeah, KYKA.
You know, speak your truth, Chao. Speak your truth. #me too.
Alright.
Did you touch him, KYKA?
Being fat is mid. If you're fat, you're mid. End of story.
Whoa. And so he checks all the check boxes, so he's up there.
Yeah.
Also, his favorite color is blue, so he's automatically a Democrat.
True. But one problem. I'm white.
You're retarded?
I'm a guy.
You're
a guy?
But you kind of make up for it with your other attributes.
True. And disability.
Also, you didn't go to college.
Oh, true.
Working class person.
I'm so working class. Okay, I got
blue collar.
I have one last oppression point. And this is going to absolutely blow your mind.
What?
I don't think you're ready for what I'm about to say.
Oh shit, I closed the tab.
It doesn't matter if I'm white and cisgender. Because I can just make up fucking pronouns. I can make up pronouns for whatever I want.
He's a Sons of Liberty-ster.
Okay.
That's his new pronoun.
My pronouns are the following.
Peen slashes.
Are you ready? I cannot say them with a human tongue. They are xenopronouns and they are beyond human comprehensibility. If you would like to state them in text, use the water droplet emoji, self, or water droplet A. Yes, water droplet A. Those are my completely unique, never before created pronouns. Water droplet self.
Oh my
I
God.
am now very employable at every business I go to, lest I cancel them on Twitter for being fatphobic and ableist.
Damn. So brave. Stand with King Chao. It's bigger than black and white.
Well, can he stand?
Oh, fuck.
Mobility scooter is standing.
He's got the exosuit, dude. He's got the exosuit.
Oh, you're right. I forgot. He's a fucking Transformer.
Yeah, the fucking exosuit. Yeah, see, I identify... Oh, fuck, I already made this joke. God damn it! No! I can't make this joke twice. I can't make the joke twice.
Right.
Unless I transform it somehow. Okay.
Yeah.
I am a trans fat, and this is my story. So, I was born so heavy that make up an antidote so that it's believable and you get the sympathy points. Okay. I was born so heavy that when the doctor picked me up for the first time, he thought he was holding a bowling ball and almost dropped me on my head.
Almost? What are you talking about?
No. Because then Mom would later drop me on my head. Multiple times.
Damn.
And every time it was a direct collision. Bigots online like to say that this is the cause for my neurodivergency. But truthfully, it is just because I am so stunning and brave that I dare to be neurodivergent.
Just so brave.
I have 17 million triggers. Too many to list. Some past human tongue. But all I will say is that if you make a fat joke, I am fucking canceling you. You racist, sexist, transphobic, homophobic, fatphobic, ableist, Nazi.
Well said. I think you forgot like the transphobic in there.
I already said transphobic.
Oh, did you say fatphobic?
Yes, I already said fatphobic.
Fuck. Did you say cisphobic?
I did not. You can't be cisphobic. Cis people are the oppressors.
Right.
It doesn't work the other way around.
Blackphobic. Racist.
I already said racist.
Sexist.
I already said sexist.
Fuck.
Even though I'm a guy.
Nazi. You say Nazi.
I already said Nazi.
Asexualist.
I did not say asexualist. Asexualist. Boom.
You know what's
I've covered all my
asexual day in a
bases.
couple days?
I've covered all my bases.
You know, it's funny. The whole time I was picturing like baby Chao being kicked by his mother
The fuck?
while being dropped, like directly.
Fucking drop kick. Fucking curb stomp.
Damn, sounds like a skill issue, to be honest.
Yeah, bozo. Just fucking wave
Alright,
dash. Not that
speaking
hard.
of skill issue, I think we should come with our next topic.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about Will Smith.
He
Exactly.
slapped Chris Rock.
That's
That's the end of
topic.
it.
That's the topic I'm
listen,
talking
alright?
about.
We need to give an overview about the Will Smith situation.
I got
Because
this.
nobody has ever talked about it ever. We are the
Really?
only
What?
ones. Yes, we are the
You're
only
so
ones.
right. Yeah.
We are the first and only ones to ever talk about this topic ever. So we have to give the introduction. Because nobody's ever heard about it before.
Okay. Semi-closing silence, or we're gonna do an intro on this?
Fucking KYKA, this is your job.
Oh, Will Smith
Slavery.
slapped the shit out of Chris
No,
Rock.
we gotta give the introduction. I
You
got
gotta
this.
give the
Okay. No.
I'm
Okay,
getting
guys.
into it because
No, I got this. No. You
Chris
gotta start
Rock
with the context.
made
You
a
can't
joke
just go into the
about
context.
Jada Smith, the woman that sleeps around with all the men, hoggers.
Jesus
No, I got this. So basically, at the Oscars, I don't know what day it was, because who gives a shit about the Oscars? Chris Rock was making a G.I. Jane joke about Will Smith's wife because she's fucking bald. She looks like a fucking tomato. Alright, and then like Will Smith was laughing the joke, but then he saw his wife like not laughing, so he's like, oh shit.
Right.
Fuck. And he's like,
to
he
save
goes
his
up and
ass-
bitch slaps Chris Rock. And then he goes back to his seat cussing like, keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth 3 times, which is unnecessary.
Yeah.
And then like he was bitched the whole night, so.
Yeah. So,
And he still won an Oscar. Which just baffles me.
which of course is only more proof that the Oscar is a completely fucking meaningless award. But can I just say, there are a couple of people online who are defending Will Smith, and it's not just a couple. I lied. It's actually quite a few. Some are using the race angle because it's 2022. Of course they fucking are.
You have 2 black guys using race angle. Gosh dang.
Hilarious. But there are other people who are saying that it was the Chad thing to do. And at first glance, maybe that is how it appears. But truthfully, Will Smith was baby crying that somebody made a joke about his wife. Which he of course found funny, but he wouldn't let anyone else know that. So he resorted to fucking assault. That's not okay, because it's fucking assault. We do not assault people over their jokes or their speech, even if we don't like what they say. Because, the First Amendment and the law, like, how is Will Smith just getting off the hook for this? I don't know. We've argued about this previously on multiple episodes. I don't think that if you say something, right, that and an appropriate response is to attack the person who said the thing that you don't like. Because, again, First Amendment. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
I am not a fan of the situation. I think, look, Will Smith the emotional response, I think we all understand what was going through his mind. Doesn't mean it's right. Let's make that very clear.
Yeah, at all.
Right. And so I think he should be punished because any normal person would be punished, but because, he is the elite, he probably won't be, and that's a little unfortunate, but what are you going to do?
It's significantly unfortunate, at least to me.
Yeah.
All right, Wardo, what do you think? You're the one who thinks that if someone says the N-word, they should be punched for it, so I don't know. What's your take?
This seems like a perfect topic
All
for
right.
you.
Now, there's a difference between a comedian saying a joke, which is his job to, and like you going up to a black guy and screaming the N-word at him.
What's the
hard
difference?
R.
What's the difference?
One's a joke and one's serious. That's the difference.
So it's intent.
Yeah, it's all an intention. Let's say that Chris Rock did it in a malicious way.
What if the intent is unclear? Or what if he's dishonest?
But it is clear. But it is clear. In Oscar, it's very clear. Exactly, that's what we're talking about.
But you don't have a system of reference that is consistent across all reference frames. You only have a system that works on one reference frame, or two. What about every situation in the middle? What about a situation where there's a comedian who makes a distasteful joke that he didn't mean any harm by, but involves a slur? It's a joke, right? The intention's fine. To some people. To other people, that's just, him being, dishonest about it so we can say the slur and get away with it. What if he was only half joking? What if he was, being satirical, but on some level kind of meant it? It's totally a thing that happens.
Now, is he doing it with his own race? Is he doing it to his own race, or is he doing it to a different race? It is relevant.
How?
It is relevant. Why should someone be offensive to someone else's race maliciously? Remember, we're talking about maliciously and jokingly.
It's a word, dog. It's a word. You're saying, malicious, but ultimately, it can never be that malicious because it's a word.
Words can be malicious. You can't say that words have no meaning. Like, let's say, as we even talked about in the podcast, when Joe Biden called China's leaders, bad words. I forgot at the top of my head. Yeah. When he called Russia, dumbasses or something along those lines. He obviously didn't say that. We said that was bad. Why? Because they're words. Words have effect.
That's because he's a world leader. That's because...
What's the difference? Okay, come on. Okay, it's just a word. It's just words.
Can I tell you the
What's
difference?
The difference?
Can I tell you the difference? Objectively, I don't think that it was bad for Biden to say any of those things. He has the right to do so. But he represents all of us. He's a world leader. He represents all of us. So, when he says something, it's as if we all said it, even if we didn't want to. That's how, governments work. The representative republic.
Also, the people he's dealing with are probably not the most rational human beings on this planet.
Or maybe it's better to say, even if they're not the most rational, they don't have to be.
Because they have a different culture from ours.
Yeah.
We value freedom of speech much more than they do.
But they don't. The First Amendment doesn't exist in China. That's an American thing. We're saying this in the context of America. It's totally different.
I don't know, it's the same thing as, is it okay for a Jewish guy to punch a non-Jewish guy because that non-Jewish guy called the Jewish guy a Jewish slur? I don't know. Don't think so.
Why would it be?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters what race it is. I just think all across the board it's not okay.
Okay.
Unless you're inciting violence. That's different. Okay.
Inciting violence. Here's the thing about inciting violence. That's a gray area, right? When you say inciting violence, right, it's pretty fuzzy about what is genuine inciting violence, calls to, calls to violence, that kind of thing. What can essentially, turn into death threats, right? Or something of the like.
If you say I'm going to bomb a theater, that's definitely
that's different.
Bad.
That's different. That's a bomb threat. That is illegal because it's a reasonable restriction, right, of the very few that we've all agreed that we can safely say we can give up, with the understanding that it would never reasonably be used against us to tyrannize. That's not part of the First Amendment. Open calls to violence and death threats are not part of the First Amendment for this very reason. But it's a reasonable restriction. Slurs, which, can I just say, is a very open-ended definition that changes whenever leftists want it to, right? Slurs are not violence. They're offensive, and they're mean-spirited, and you can even say they're hateful. They usually are, if not a joke, right? But we should live in a society where people who are going to be hateful can be hateful. That sounds horrible, but reasonably, the alternative is censorship. It's the best of the worst, if you feel me. That's just, how the world works. Some people are going to be assholes, but you have to let people be assholes, because who gets to decide? The government? Why would you let them decide what you can and can't say? And if not the government, maybe it's like an individual thing, like, the whole, if you say a slur, you should get punched, right? If you think it's individuals, then why should they get to decide what you get to say? Because it's offensive? Because it has, a really rough history? Frankly, I think that that's just completely unimaginable. I could just never think of a world where that was the system and people weren't just being fundamentally oppressed in their, right to self-expression and their right to free speech. But that's me.
Well, here's my thought on this. I think that I agree with you guys. We shouldn't ban it. Like, the government should be like, no, you can't say these words. Completely agree with you guys. But I feel like we as human beings should have the common courtesy and not say those things to other people. We can say in like conversations broadly, but not like aggressively to a race where it's towards, like for black people saying the N-word with a hard R, or to Jewish people, those slurs. Obviously, I'm not gonna see them. And I feel like it should be like a common courtesy kind of thing, and that we shouldn't just go up randomly or go up maliciously to a race and just like straight up just pull out the whole bag of slurs on them. I don't think we should do that. I think that's the argument I was trying to make even in previous podcasts.
Yeah. Everyone, like, none of us are not advocating for people to be a good human being, but regulating speech is a very slippery slope that I'm personally not willing to get into under no circumstance.
But of course, the other thing is, I feel like it's kind of idealistic to want everyone to be, that have that common decency. Some people don't. Some people just kind of suck. But, again, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me, right? At the end of the day, if someone's being an asshole, you just ignore them, right? And, if they're actively doing everything they can to, infiltrate, your space, if it's online, just fucking block them. That's easy, right? Believe me. I'm familiar with the concept. And if it's in person, that's really more of a personal matter. That's not a political thing. That seems to just be you being surrounded by bad people, and that's on you to change that. Whether, it's, filing a harassment form at work, or whether it's, getting a restraining order, or, something of the like. If it's genuine constant harassment, right, that goes beyond speech and it's just like constantly being invasive, that's something else. But we're talking about the right to be an asshole sometimes. That's, unfortunately, just kind of necessary for a free functioning society where people can say what's on their minds without fear of, prosecution. And I mean that in the government way, but also in the individual way. As horrible as it is to, say these words in hateful context to my personal opinion, right? I should be able to, fundamentally, go up to a bunch of black people and say the N-word with hard R and not get fucking socked in the face. Because that's assault. And it's a word.
Yeah, I feel like you should have that expectation, though. It's like how you should have an expectation if you poke a tiger, it's going to attack you.
A tiger is a wild animal.
But you're
a tiger is a wild animal.
Well, let's be real. You're just antagonizing them.
Okay.
It's
I get the whole poke the bear thing, but they're human beings, right?
But they have aggression when something.
Self-control.
Shouldn't you also have self-control? If you know that those words may aggravate. I'm not saying like in a general place. Like we say, that sweater's red, and the whole internet be like, no, it's fucking blue, or it's fucking.
So, Sonny, just a general question. So, if you call me a Jewish slur, do you expect me to punch you?
In what kind of manner? Like if it's like in his situation, he explained it, just going up to a person.
What if intention was unclear?
If you just
said, okay, let me answer KYKA's, then I'll answer Chao's.
Okay.
So if I were to maliciously go up to you and let's say you saying I know you or I don't know you,
it doesn't matter.
It sort of does because you have that personal aspect. As Chao's situation, you didn't scenario, he didn't have that personal aspect. So then I would have that expectation you get mad at me and maybe have hit me.
So you expect
you would just be okay with that?
I wouldn't be okay with that. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you should be okay with it. I'm saying you should have the expectation.
But why should you expect it?
Because I'm obviously intentionally trying to get an action from you by saying certain words that will trigger your type of people.
Okay, but do you think that should be illegal?
What? I never said that it should be legal. I even clearly stated in my first episode, I don't think the government should get involved. I'm just saying you should have that expectation. I never said...
I get that, right? All you should really expect is maybe, and this is like a stretch for me, all you should really expect is just them being upset. That's all it is. Because once you start to cross the line into territory of, I'm going to expect this person to punch me if I say something that doesn't conform with their ethical or moral standard, then we get into some very dangerous territory. Maybe some justification for some violence that probably
one scenario is that I know it's going to piss you off. Another one's like, this might piss you off or not. So, because both your scenarios are both in the extremes, we're not really talking about the middle scenarios.
Well, what are the middle scenarios?
Going up to a person and let's say you ask their opinion on this topic and they think it's wrong and hateful and you think it's not. That's the middle kind of topic.
Do you think that person should punch him?
No, because one is targeting a racial or any type of group, and the other is just asking one's opinion.
That's cool. When is it okay to punch someone?
When you're intentionally try and be aggressive and go after and antagonize one certain type of group of people. I don't think it's okay. I'm just saying expect it. I never said it was okay.
If you expect it, then subconsciously you're saying it's okay.
No, just know the consequence. Same thing. It's not okay for a tiger to attack you, but if you want to go poke the tiger,
wild animal.
That's kind of
self-control.
This is the problem. This is the problem with, and I'm not trying to be a leftist here, but this is the same argument they use, right? If a woman with very promiscuous clothes walks outside, you're basically expecting her to get raped. That's not a very good argument to make. Just because you say something doesn't mean you should expect to be punched. That's not really a good thing to say.
I mean, it's not expecting to say something. It's something that's aggressive and intentional to one group. That's what you're... I think you're getting it, but I don't think you're understanding.
No, I'm definitely getting it, because you're saying if you say a racial slur with malicious intent, you should expect to be punished. You don't think it's okay, we should expect. What I'm saying is you should never expect that you should be punished for saying a slur with malicious intent. That is a little too far for me.
Well, as just like the world right now, we just have to understand our differences. This is why people come to our podcast. The whole one viewer of our, podcast.
Yep.
And we just have to agree to disagree. We will show that we respect one another's point of views, and one of us is right, which is mine. But you guys are wrong.
I'm right. You're wrong. I'm right.
All right. Anyways, I would like to say my opinion on the Will Smith thing. I take upon the position of another actor who's recently retired, and whose last movie is the Sonic movie. Jim Carrey, I believe his name, and he was in an interview. And he was talking on the Will Smith situation, and he was like, "This is just a sad thing for the whole industry. This is a stupid. He should have gotten taken off stage by security and kicked out. If it was anyone else, they would have got kicked out by security. But because it's Will Smith and the entitlement he thinks he can get away with this, is bullshit. He should have been kicked out, and he should be losing roles because of this. But no, a lot of people are praising him. I think the worst thing of this is that he slapped him, because in especially where we live, that is basically calling the person a bitch. I don't know in other places. I know in Philadelphia they're like, hell yeah, slap him. They're used to slapping because they're all bitches over there. Fuck you, Philadelphia. Here, I would have respected it more if it was a punch, because then that's, as a man, instead of, a man to a bitch, because bitch slapping him.
What the fuck?
It's a real thing.
I'm gonna let you finish, but what kind of distinction is that? If you slap him, he's a bitch, but if you punch him, he's a man. What the
Because
hell?
think about it, when it's mano a mano, it's a fist. Now it's slapping. Slapping is viewed as a feminine kind of thing that females do.
What? Sure, I agree.
This is
Do you?
I guess you could say stereotype.
I get what he's saying though. Slapping is for pussies, punching is for men.
I don't know. I don't get it.
No, if you're gonna do the job, finish the job. He's right.
Exactly. And think about it, he was laughing at it, so it's obviously for his wife's fine, go do it. And I saw a meme on the internet. Pretty funny is after whole Oscars things, his wife Jada is he did that was so sexy, he did well. I'm actually let you watch me in August, which is the person she had an affair with.
Oh, that's funny.
Watching them, meaning them doing the dirty.
That's fucked up.
I mean, Will Smith is a cuckold, so
Yeah.
Think about it. He gets mad at a joke towards his wife, but won't get mad at her cheating on him. Let's just put that in perspective.
yeah, that is weird. I mean, I'm not judging anyone because I'm not here to judge.
We should
but
judge.
that is fucking weird as fuck, my guy.
Yeah.
You've crossed a line into insanity land over here.
And don't get me started with the fucking children. Oh my gosh. His son posted on social media that that's how we do things around here, and then someone posted in the comments him getting his ass kicked in Karate Kid. Yeah, it was really hilarious. Yeah, that's my thoughts, and that's my 2 cents in the whole Will Smith bullshit thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cutthroat, right? Pretty clear here.
Chao, anything else?
Yeah, okay, so basically,
Uh,
I don't know. Your answer to the Will Smith situation seems to be at least partially in conflict with your belief about, the whole thing about free speech.
I gotta punch him. That's my belief.
So essentially, you don't think that Will Smith went far enough.
yeah.
Which,
exactly.
can I just say, while I completely disagree and think that's actually kind of horrible, props to you for not only doubling down, but going even farther and going more extreme. Somehow. You know what?
Exactly.
Fuck it, based. I'll say it.
Alright. Yeah, exactly. Will Smith, you're pussy. You may be taller than me, double size me, but take you on any day. Alright then. I think that's the end of the episode.
Finish.
This has been your host with the most, Sunny. That's King Chao, fuck face over there, he's drunk. That's KYKA. Now we'll be ending the episode. As King Chao says, season 2, whatever, is never coming back. Yeah.
You worry about leaving a better planet for our kids. How about leaving better kids for our planet? Entire generation offended at everything, getting mad that a human thinks all lives matter. We don't need black or white or left or right. What we need is common sense. We need balance. We're all in the same boat. Why you trying to make holes? If they sink, we sink. This is madness.